Hello, welcome to the Mark Janard Show, the cybersecurity show. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to scan IPs. I'm going to talk about the tool and how to do it, like verbatim. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going dark. So we're going to be using the IP scanning tool Nmap. The Nmap command, the network mapper, right? Is a free and open source tool for network discovery, and it's available on Linux, macOS, and Windows. Now, to install on Linux, install the Nmap package. And you're going to want to do the apt get install map. To install on macOS or Windows, see the nmap.org download page. To use Nmap to scan the devices on your network, you need to know the subnet you are connected to. First, find your own IP address, in other words, the one of the computer you're using to find your MSRTK module's IP address. On Linux, type hostname and then the -i into a terminal window. On macOS, go to System Preferences, then Network, and select your active network connection to view the IP address. On Windows, go to the Control Panel, then under Network and Sharing Center, click View Network Connections, select your active network connection, and click View Status of this connection to view the IP address. Now, you have the IP address of your computer. You will scan the whole subnet for other devices. For example, if your IP address is 192.168.1.5, other devices will be at addresses like 192.168.1.2 or 192.168.1.3 or 192.168.1.4, etc. The notation of this subnet range is 192.168.1.0 to 255, the N, right? Peter, you can put that on the screen. So now use the Nmap command with the SN flag ping scan on the whole subnet range. This may take a few seconds. And Peter, you could put that Nmap on the screen, that SN 192.168, and ping scan just pings all the IP addresses to see if they respond. For each device that responds to that ping, the output shows the host name and IP address like so. And Peter, you could put that starting Nmap 6.4. That's on the nmap.org. And there's also the Nmap scan reporter. Peter, you could put that on screen. And the host is up. And the Nmap scan report for Ubuntu. And the host is up at the 0.0010 latency. There's also the Nmap scan report for the MSRTK, which is the 192.168.1.8. And the host is up is at 0.0030 latency, the seconds, right? It's converted into seconds. So the Nmap is done. You have 256 IP addresses, 4 hosts up, scan in 2.41 seconds. And here you can see a device with hostname MSRTK has IP address 192.168.1.8. So how to find all IP addresses on a network, right? Knowing how to scan the network for devices is the first step, and one of the most fundamental in managing IP addresses. When organizational members experience problems connecting their device to the network or the internet, having a full list of IP addresses on the network can guide administrators as they troubleshoot and restore order. Before I proceed, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Before I proceed, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and the like button. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your viewership. Thank you. The most basic way to find all the IP addresses on a network is with a manual network scan. This method is best for those looking to perform a rapid one-time device check, or for those heading smaller organizations with a more manageable device list to rapidly scan a network yourself using native operating system OS capabilities. Follow these steps, right? Take out your notes, take out your paper, you know what I'm saying? Study. Open your eyes, right? So number 1, open the command prompt. Number 2, enter the, that's not number 2, that's 2. So enter the command ipconfig for Mac or ifconfig for Linux. Your computer will then display its own IP address, subnet mask, gateway address, and more, making it possible for you to determine the network number you'll be scanning. For example, in a Class C IP version 4 network, which most small local networks won't to be, you may find your computer's IP address is, let's say, 192.168.1.75. If the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, then you know the first 3 bytes are the network ID, which is the 192.168.1, and your broadcast IP address is 192.168.1.255. Sorry, not 225, 0.255. Next 3, the input command ARPA. ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol, and the -A appendage of the command prompt prompts the device to list all the IP addresses found within the ARP cache for the associated network. In other words, the ARP-A command displays all active IP addresses connected to the local network. This list is incredibly informative, containing the IP addresses, MAC addresses, and allocation type, whether static or dynamic, for all live hosts. Number 4, and this is optional, right? This is optional. Input the command ping and the -T. The ping-T command allows you to perform an extended ping on the list produced by the previous command, testing connectivity and latency within the network. This will enable you to further narrow down what devices could be experiencing or causing problems. However, there are a few ways to scan local networks for IP addresses. Typically, the best way to find the IP addresses of all devices on a network is to invest in software. This is especially true for large organizations using dynamic IP addresses, in which case the large volume of networked devices and staggered address changes can quickly become overwhelming to track and organize. So using an IP address scanner, admins can see which addresses are active, which are free for reallocation, which might belong to unauthorized users, and which have perhaps been duplicated and caused some collisions. Now, I know we talked about Nmap, right? But clearly there are more IP scanning software than Nmap. So I'm going to list them for you so you know, and you can test out which one works best for you, right? So while it is possible to scan network for active IP addresses using native commands, manually tracking the addresses of all network devices can quickly become an outsized task for any one staff member. This is particularly true when you look at the data this method makes available to you. So yes, ipconfig displays IP addresses of each active network device and its corresponding MAC address, but most IT members don't, happen to know the MAC address of every single computer that is within the network, right? So some IP address scanner software is the SolarWinds IP address manager. Number 2, Angry IP scanner. Number 3, we talked about it early in this video, Nmap. 4, Fing, F-I-N-G. Number 5, MyLAN viewer. So please take a look at those. See you on the next video. Stay safe. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell.